Carlos Ramirez, owner of NVS Audio in Roselle, New Jersey, and Daytona, Florida. So, a question I get asked all the time, especially this week, I feel like I got asked it 10 times, so I decided to make a video on it, is how you add a battery to the tour pack. How do you wire it? So, I did a quick, simple representation. So, we have the underseat battery here on this side. We have our fuse distribution block, which goes to the amplifiers and the fairing. We have our zero gauge feed to the tour pack. We have our tour pack battery, and here we have a 5,000 watt amplifier. So this is theoretically the way it would be hooked up. So this is your underseat battery. So this is the battery that you currently have on your bike, and then the two amplifiers and the fairing are hooked up. Now you had a 3,000.1 running your bass, and now you upgraded to a 5,000.1. These batteries can safely handle 4,000 or 5,000 watts RMS. That's why when you go from a 3,000 to a 5,000 watt amp, you have to add a second battery to handle the extra current capacity. So if you read the specification of the amplifier, so this is Cicada BFA 5,000.1. So RMS power, 5,000 watts at 2 ohms. And then what you have to look at is the current draw. So on regular music, the amplifier can draw upwards of 200 amps of current. If you pull this amplifier to the maximum and you're doing test tones, this amplifier draws 450 amps of current. So this is a limitless nano HDV3. This is the standard by which all of the batteries are measured, and they rate this battery at 5,000 watts. So the reason the battery can handle that kind of capacity is because it's got a super strong BMS built in. But if you have a 1200, a couple of 1200s, an 800, a 3000, you're pushing the limit of one single battery. So once you do a 5,000, there is no longer, even if you're running a 3,000, you could benefit from running two separate batteries. But once you go to 5,000, that's it. That one amplifier by itself matches the current capacity of the battery. So when you do a 3,000, you're pushing the limit. Once you have the 3,000, the 1,200, the amp you have running your tweeters, that's right at the limit of what the battery can do. Once you go to a 5,000, you have no choice. You have to add a second battery. Once you go to an 8,000 or 10,000, you have to go to multiple batteries just for the bass amplifier. But most rider setups run a 1,600 or 3,000 or 5,000 for bass. Then once you get to the competition level, there's people running 8,000 watt amps for each saddlebag. So we're talking 16,000 watts of just bass. Those bikes are running 4, 5, 6 batteries. So this is still a typical rider setup, parking lot pimp setup. So you have your lithium battery under the seat. Doesn't matter what brand it is. It could be Braille, it could be anti-gravity, it could be limitless, it could be volt power, it could be any lithium battery. Will safely do 2,500 to, let's say, 4,000, 5,000 watts RMS for the total system value. Once you go to a 5,000 or bigger, you should run 2 batteries. So obviously this one's under the seat, this one would go in the tour pack. So then to wire it safely, and this is where a lot of people make mistakes, when you run a second battery, so these are the fuses that run to the fairing and run your other amplifiers. When people run a second battery, a lot of times they add one fuse, which is a mistake. You actually need 2 fuses, because what people don't realize is if you add just this fuse by this battery, so this side of the line is protected. But if you don't add this fuse, if the line shorts here, it backfeeds from this battery and the wire will catch fire. If you don't use this fuse, if you use this fuse and not this one, and you short it here, then it catches fire this way. So you need a fuse leaving the battery, and you need a fuse arriving at the battery. Most people add a second battery, always forget to add the second fuse. You have to remember that the battery feeds power back towards the other battery and back towards this battery. So you need a fuse leaving and a fuse arriving. And depending which way you look at the battery, this would be leaving, this would be arriving, and if you flip it, this would be leaving, this would be arriving. But you have to fuse at both sides. So you need, so this is the line that runs the second battery in the tour pack. So we have a line through a fuse, protecting the power feeding this way. Second fuse, protecting the power feeding this way. If you only run one fuse, so if you only run this fuse, then this part of the line is not protected from feedback. If you only run this fuse, this part of the line is not protected from feeding back. Very important that you run 2 fuses when leaving the first battery. And when I say leaving the first battery through this line to run to the second battery, protected. Leaving the battery to go to the fairing to the amplifiers, protected. So any line that leaves the battery needs to be fused. So this is our 2 amplifiers in the fairing, fused, protected. This is our battery in the tour pack, fuse protected. This is leaving the battery in the tour pack, fuse protected, and then leaving the battery in the tour pack, going to the 5000.1, fuse protected. According to the manual, you're going to be playing music. You need a 2 or 300 amp fuse. We have a 300 amp fuse installed. Then technically, to do 5000 watts, you would need double zero gauge. So I would use a double zero gauge wire with a double fuse holder, and then I would actually put a 250 in each spot if we were using this to run test tones and the amplifier was pulling damn near 500 amps of current. But amplifier in the tour pack, battery in the tour pack, fuse for the amplifier, fuse for the line leaving the battery, fuse for the line arriving at the battery, fuse distribution block for the amps in the fairing. So this is the proper way to do it. We're going to go over to this bike and make an example if we happen to add a battery in the tour pack for this bike. So we're going to pause the video and move over to this bike. All right, here's a quick mock-up in the tour pack. Obviously it's not installed because this bike has a 3000 that's staying in there. So here's the 5000, here's the second battery. We would actually do a mount for the battery over there and sit the 5000 on top of it, secured. But for training purposes, here's our 5000. Here's our battery wires looping back to the battery. We have our positive, we have our negative, and there's a fuse on the positive. You could see it right there. So the line leaving the battery goes through a fuse, goes to the amp, protected. Then the second power line leaves this battery, fuse protected. Continues on, then it arrives at the front battery, fuse protected, then loops around, goes to the battery positive. And the negative loops around, goes to the battery negative. This is the distribution block for the amps in the fairing. So we have a zero gauge feed coming from this battery, going to this block, going to the amps in the fairing. The reason we do it this way, because most people want to just hook up all the amplifiers to this battery, you have to split the load. So here we have, let's say we have 3200 watts in the fairing, and we have 5000 watts in the tour pack. So if we hooked up everything in the tour pack, we would be overloading this battery because we would be at 8200 watts on one battery. And then just because you have the two batteries linked together doesn't mean the load's being spread evenly, because we only have zero gauge wire connecting the two batteries. So that means the zero gauge wire can only support 300 amps. This amplifier pulls more than 300 amps by itself. That's why this amplifier needs a battery, and the ones in the front need a battery. That way the load is split evenly. So we have a 3200 watt load on the front battery, and we have a 5000 watt load on the back battery. And then they're both connected together with a 300 amp highway. So 300 amps is more than enough to charge the back battery from the stator in the front. And then the amplifier pulls the current it needs from this capacitance bank. And then the amplifiers in the front pull the current they need from that capacitance bank. And then they're joined together with the zero gauge charge cable. So we have leaving this battery, fuse protected, protects the tour pack. Arriving at this battery, fuse protected, protects the bike. We have leaving this battery, fuse protected, goes to the fairing. All right, hope I explained it simple enough so everybody gets it. If you have questions, reach out to me. But this is how to safely and properly install a second battery, either under the tail or in the tour pack. They would get wired exactly the same. Most important part to remember is 2 fuses on the line between the 2 batteries. So the line leaving this battery is protected by this fuse, arriving at this battery protected by this fuse, leaving this battery protected by this fuse, arriving at this battery protected by this fuse, leaving this battery protected by this fuse.